Hello, today we're going to talk about superpowers. What kind of superpower have you always wanted to have? I remember as a little girl, I've always wanted the superpower to fly, to soar high up in the sky like an eagle. And now that I'm a big girl, I actually have discovered a whole new superpower, and that is the power of my mindset. And I would like to share that with you today. The 4 key principles on collaborating with your mindset. I haven't made them up, I'm just sharing with you what I've been taught by Marissa Peer, who is best-selling author and amazing international speaker and voted the best therapist in Britain. She's pretty famous and you can look her up. So the first rule of the mind is that the mind does what it thinks you want it to do in your own very best interest. So it responds really well to your language. And knowing that, you want to be extremely specific and clear with the words you use when you communicate to your mind. So for example, really powerful words are I want, I choose. And that gives you the power back in your hands. The second rule of the mind is that the mind will always move you towards pleasure and away from pain, because its most important job in life is to keep you alive. And therefore, you can actually sometimes trick your mind by associating pleasure to the result of what it is that you want. For example, when I was younger, I was challenged to run 10 kilometers. And I remember the first time I started running. After 2 kilometers, I already had a stitch and I was in pain. And I told myself, I can never do this. There's no way that I can run 10 kilometers. Other people can, but I can't. I'm not made for running 10 kilometers. And eventually I changed my mindset around and I told myself, I want to run 10 kilometers. And I choose to practice running until I am fit enough to run 10 kilometers in an hour. And now that I've told myself that this is what I want and I choose to do it because it gives me pleasure to feel fit in my body, well, suddenly my brain's like, oh, she wants to run, she wants to be fit, cool, well, here you go, here's a whole burst of energy and oxygen for every muscle of your body so you can run. And then I just built up the strength. And that was it. So there you go. You can really collaborate with your mind by instructing it and telling it what it is that you want, what you choose, and then you associate pleasure to that outcome. Try it. It's actually really good. The third rule of the mind is that it responds to the pictures and words you create in your mind. So let me show you. I'd like you now to close your eyes and imagine I'm placing half a lemon in the palm of your hand. You're holding a juicy, zesty lemon in your hand. You're moving it up towards your nose and you can smell the essence of this lemon. It's zesty, fresh, uplifting. And now you're going to taste that lemon, you're going to put it in your mouth and you're going to bite into its flesh and drink its juice. Super sour, fresh, zesty lemon. You can smell it, you can taste it. You swirl that lemon juice around and around your mouth. Perfect. Fantastic. Now you can open your eyes. Can you notice that you've produced more saliva? I can actually feel it. So that's quite a really cool exercise to show you that if you tell your mind there's a lemon in your mouth and you visualize it and you smell it and you imagine it, it actually triggers your salivary gland and releases saliva so you can digest it. It's quite phenomenal. Now let's do another exercise. So I'd like you to take your right arm, and in a moment I'm going to ask you to point backwards as far as you can, and you're going to look for a mark on the wall to see how far you've come. Okay? 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Take your arm and point backwards as far as you possibly can. You find a mark on the wall and you can see how far it goes. As far as you can, stretch it out. Perfect. Now come back. Great. Now you're going to close your eyes again and you're going to imagine all the muscles in your shoulders being extremely relaxed. All your ligaments being extremely flexible. As flexible as an elastic band. And now you're going to visualize, just in your mind, that you're pulling your arm backwards like you did earlier. And you're going a third further than the first time. So you feel all those muscles being loose and those ligaments being flexible and elastic. Your arm is becoming like jelly, like Play-Doh. You can move it in any way you want, and now you can see it going backwards a third further than the first time. Great. You can open your eyes, take the same arm, and you're going to point backwards again like you did earlier. And this time you're going to go a third further. You can see your arm going a third further, and it is, whoa, it is. Did you see that? How cool is that? So you can see the power of your mind when you visualize and you tell yourself. So the language, the words you use, and the images you create in your mind have a huge impact on your on your body and on what you do. Cool. So let's see how you can apply that to other aspects of your life. The fourth rule of the mind is that the mind loves words familiar. So if you want to adopt a new habit in your life, you just need to repeat it over and over again until it becomes familiar. It's a bit like playing the guitar, first you don't know where to put your fingers, like on the guitar, and then suddenly your muscle memory kicks in and you know where to put your fingers and how to make it sound good. Yeah, well, that's the same with habits in your life. For example, if you choose to recycle more, then at the beginning it's a bit of effort. You gotta remind yourself, I gotta separate the plastic bottles and mash them up, take the air out, make it little and put it in the recycling bin. It takes a bit of extra effort. And then suddenly, with repetition and practice, it just becomes natural and easy peasy. You don't even have to think about it. It's automatic. You just take your bottle, mash it up, chuck it in the recycling bin. Easy. It's just a habit. And today I'd like you to make positive self-talk familiar, because that is super, extremely important, believe me. If you tell yourself self-empowering words like, I am enough, I am lovable, I am worthy, I believe in myself, that is going to go with you for the rest of your life. So when you look into the mirror, I want you to look at yourself in the eyes and say those words. I love you. You are worthy. You are enough. And you look at yourself eye to eye, heart to heart. And you say those beautiful words to you because you deserve them. It's really important that you like yourself. And in fact, the most important thing is what you think about yourself. So you gotta become your best friend and grow that complicity with yourself, because you're your best friend for life. So you might as well get along with yourself and really boost yourself by giving yourself compliments. It's not about being narcissistic. It's about collaborating with your mindset to achieve great things in life, to dream big and to get there. To get up every time you fall and keep walking the path. Because your life is significant and you have a really important role to play in this lifetime. The world's been waiting for you. So these are the 4 rules of the mind summed up very quickly for you, and I'd be curious to know how you can apply these to your life to access your full potential and adopt new habits easily. Wonderful. Thank you for listening. It's been my pleasure to share this with you, and I'm curious to know how you go with applying these 4 principles to your life. Please do share. Wish you all the best in growing this tree of self-belief.